Hello. All right, so we are on lesson 9 of Brother Lawrence. His book, or the paper, if you download it, will not be broken up into lessons. They're broken up into conversations that he had with people who wrote them down afterwards, or letters that people had written to him asking how did he find such peace on earth. And he wrote back to them, and I just read the first one today, and it's impressive because he asked the man, please do not show anyone this letter because I'm praying for you to get strength. And he didn't want the man to to market his letter on how to get peace. This was a personal thing between him and that person. But anyway, just like the conversations were between him and the person speaking, the person that ended up writing them down. So we will continue. It says that we ought not to be weary of doing little things for the love of God, who regards not the greatness of the work, but the love with which it is performed. That we should not wonder if in the beginning we often fail. And I love that because I do. I often fail. I have lots of setbacks. But he goes on to say, at last we will gain a habit which will naturally produce its acts in us without our care and worry, and to our exceeding great delight. That the whole substance of religion was faith, hope, and charity. Charity being love, giving, right? By the practice of which we become united to the will of God, that all besides is indifferent and to be used as a means to arrive at the end, which is faith, hope, and charity, love. That all things are possible to him who believes, that they are less difficult to him who hopes, that they are more easy to him who loves, and still more easy to him who perseveres in the practice of these three virtues. So we shouldn't give up. If you fall down, get right back up, start over again. That at the end, we ought to propose to ourselves in this life to become the most perfect worshipers of God as can possibly be, as we hope to be through all eternity. That when we enter upon the spiritual, we should consider and examine to the bottom what we are. And we will find that we are disgusting, we are stupid, mean, cruel. We will find ourselves worthy of all contempt, subject to all kinds of misery, because we do things without thinking. We do things without thinking of God. We do things because we worry, we fear, and they're silly things, bad things. However, instead of worrying about this, we should not wonder that these things, all the bad things happen to men. No, we shouldn't even worry about it. On the contrary, we should submit ourselves to whatever happens and bear them as long as God pleases. Because these things, he say, and this says it in the Bible too, are things highly advantageous to us. Because as we're going through these messes, these things that might have come up because we did something wrong or we were impatient, as we go through them and we lean closer to God, we get closer to him, we get more strength. And it brings us closer to God, to actually getting the peace. That the greater perfection a soul aspires after, the more dependent it is upon divine grace. Being questioned by one of the monks by what means he had attained such a habitual sense of God, he told the monk that he had considered God as the end of all his thoughts and desires. So basically, he worked on disciplining his mind to come back always to thoughts of God. And often, he did fail. Often. But every time he did fail, he just would try again, come right back to God, ask pardon, and keep moving. And that's something that we have to remember. Don't give up. Don't hit bottom again and say, oh, I can't believe I keep doing this, and stay down there. Why do we stay down there? We can't punish ourselves. I mean, we can punish ourselves by being down there, but does it do any good to anybody? No. And if we truly believe in God, as we get to know Him more, and that's what the studying is about, we find that He really loves us, and He hates it when we stick ourselves in the bottom and stay there. We have to keep coming back up and looking for God and finding Him and just get right back on track. And the amazing thing about God is that all things are possible. So He will pick you up out of the pit, put you up on the mountain in 2 seconds flat if He wants. So just lean on Him. Be dependent on Him. And remember, you can always try again. And He's right there. We just have to remember to bring our thoughts back to God and remember that He is with us all the time. So have a wonderful day, morning, night, evening, whatever, wherever you are. Bye.